Hello everyone, I am Brianna and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of things that I'm doing to prep for Challenge A. Now, some of you might not know what Challenge A is, and it is a classical conversations challenge level. And here is the guide. I am directing this year. Last year, I was the director of the Foundations and Essentials level, and this year I am moving into the Challenge A level. I have a son going into that class, so I am super excited. One of the main reasons though why I am making this video is because yesterday I posted in my stories on Instagram some pictures of me tabbing my books, and I shared inside of the Latin one specifically, and I got so many messages asking, how did you do it? What is your system for the highlighting inside? And I thought, why not just pop on here real quick and walk through a couple of things. So let me start out by sharing with you the guide. This is a spiral bound guide, and your director can order this for you either spiral bound or 3-hole punched for a binder. I believe you can also get 3-hole punch and a binder sent to you. So talk to your director to see if, I don't know, if spiral's your thing, ask her if you can get that version of the challenge guide, because usually from my experience, directors will just order the 3-hole punch because binders are a thing. And if you watch one of my past videos, I had a how to set up your Challenge A binder. So obviously this year I am going into it a little bit differently, changing a couple things up, mainly because we are shifting away from binders for challenge. They're just so bulky and tough to manage. So spiral has been really nice for us. And all I did was I tabbed the strands, the snapshot, the current week. So that is the week that we'll be on. And then on the side, I have science fair, anatomy, and blue book. And then across the top, I have skills and then all of the strands there so that they're easy to flip to during class or anytime I need to check what's going on, say, research, or I don't know, because research has a few things like the science fair and the anatomy stuff, even debate. We might want to go back there to see. Sorry, I'm trying to get back here. So all of the different, features and what we're going to be studying for a certain area for the map drawing. So this is how I decided to tab this book this year. These tabs are those Avery Ultra tabs. I have the smaller ones and then the larger ones on the side. I picked these colors last year with my son's Challenge B guide. I chose to do all white, and I thought it'd be fun to be a little bit more colorful. Okay, I think I'm gonna save Latin for last. So I'm just going to share with you the Lost Tools of Writing. Now, I didn't have to tab this at all because my first time in Challenge A, not mine, but my oldest son was in Challenge A. So I used this book with him, the teacher guide, and this is how I tabbed it. So I have the lesson guides, essay 1 through 6, because that is what they are going to be doing in Challenge A. I have how to edit, guide to assessment, essay templates, lesson summaries, and sample essays. Those are important. I don't know, all of these, everything that I've tabbed is important to me because I want to be able to quickly find, okay, where are the sample essays? Okay, sample essay 1. And I can just go right there, see how they are modeling it. and it can help me get ideas. Now, since we just did the Lost Tools of Writing prep over the summer for me as a director, I am reading books. So let's see, maybe I can do it this way. These are the first 5 books that my class is going to be reading, and my son, for the first semester. And then for the second semester, they are going to be reading these books. So I have all of them. Second semester's Fallacy Detective. I just have these out. My main prep is to focus on first semester, specifically the first 7 weeks. I want to have the first 7 weeks, those books read, which I believe might just be these 2, maybe this one. I have to check the guide. I've been doing a lot. Like I'm doing a Latin boot camp from Jam with Latin so that I can get a little bit under my belt and kind of know what I'm talking about. So I'm reading books, studying Latin, the math map. I'm getting like way off topic here. We're just going for it, guys. We are just going through all the things. So the math map, I am kind of familiarizing myself with this. Part of being a director, you have to go through the naturals lessons or the curriculum. And I also have to figure out how I want to organize this and store this. Right now, I just have it in a magazine file holder, and my plan is to pull them out when I need them. But then I've seen some videos where it makes sense to pull out the charts in the middle and spiral those so that they're easily accessed. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I'm kind of putting that on the back burner because to me there are more important things like lesson planning and learning Latin. Those are like my main things. Speaking of lesson plans, I have this binder and it is from Rifle Paper Co. I believe it's a 1.5 inch, but I have printed out weekly seminar helps. Amazing moms, directors on the director Facebook group have put together lesson plans. A director from our campus handed me all of her lesson plans. And so what I'm going to do with all of those resources is kind of look at all of them and see what would work for me or what I can fit into what I already want to do. But it's a great starting point and a great help, actually, because if you are new to Challenge A, even as a director, you're probably like, where do I even start? So I am super thankful for all of the resources out there. So utilize Facebook groups and directors who have gone before you. I have another thing here for the Lost Tools of Writing. You guys are probably familiar with this. This is found on the Challenge A Families group, and I believe as well the director group for Challenge A on Facebook. And what it is that someone made copies of the Lost Tools of Writing student pages or maybe not even made copies, just created their own thing. They have the Annie chart and all of the steps that they have to do each week. I'm not doing a very good job showing this because it is not in a binder yet. I am debating, I don't know if I want to put it in a binder or if I want to have it spiral bound. I don't know, but I printed out the first little picture here of each book so that we know what essay we're on, but it's great to have a visual of what book we are on so we don't get confused, because each book gets 3 weeks, but within those 3 weeks, you're also starting another book. So it's kind of a fast-paced system. I have another son going into Challenge 1, which is even crazier. So I am thankful for that it is a sweet introduction to the challenge years. Yeah, I just love Challenge A. I also have Words Aptly Spoken. And all I did was tab 1 through 5 to start because those are the first 5 books of the year. And it just leads me right to the book that we're on. And I have that just to come up with some good questions in case I want to do a Socratic circle in class. I have kind of like a launching point for that. I have the student workbook for Lost Tools of Writing. The only thing that I have tabbed is the current lesson and then lesson summaries. I don't know if we really need to tab anything else on there. And also analogies for all of us. I have current lesson and then answers. This one is not tabbing anything. I just have that there in case I need to use an extra tab on that book. And then Latin. So I am super excited about Latin. It was kind of intimidating at first because my oldest son, he didn't do Latin. We started out trying to do Latin and I quickly realized I couldn't keep up and help him. But now I am somewhat forced to learn being a director because I can't just go into class. I know that I am a lead learner and we're all learning together, but it is nice to have a director who kind of knows what's going on. So for the grammar book, Jam with Latin has a way that she tabs her books, and I didn't follow it exactly because I had different colored tabs. And for me, my brain needs all the declensions in one color. I did kind of follow her on the top where nouns, pronouns are the same color, adverbs and verbs are the same color, and then just an adjective here. I have the back tabbed for pronunciation. And in Jam with Latin, she let us know that classical conversations and Jam with Latin uses the pronunciation of the Roman system. There's the Italian system. So I don't know, I'm just making tons of notes because I know there's going to be a lot to pronounce here. So all I did was I tabbed the first declension, second declension, third declension, fourth declension, fifth declension, and then I have for the verbs, perfect, present, passive, present, perfect. I don't know. So I just have all of those tabbed along the side. What I am really excited about is my Latin book. Oh, also, I have this coil on here. This is a bigger coil than my son's book. I wish I had my son's book up here. But if you go back, way far back, 2 years ago, I made a how to tab your Latin books video. And you'll notice that there are way more tabs on that Latin book than what you see here. I realized that we didn't need all of those tabs. It was kind of confusing, and I think I have it down to exactly what I'm gonna need. I could add tabs as I go, but what I did was on the top, I tabbed all of the lessons 1 through 15. On the side, I have the declensions. This one right here would be like where we're at in the book. And then I have the vocabulary tabbed. And in the way back, I have Latin to English translation and English to Latin translation tabbed. Here is what everyone was asking about on Instagram. How are you highlighting the book? Because when you look at this book, and let me go to a section that's not highlighted, it just blends in with each other. It's kind of blah, kind of boring. And I was watching, okay, someone walked in. I had to stop the video for a second. I'm gonna try to remember where I was at, but Amber's classical classroom, I was watching a video and I got this idea from her. So this is not my original idea, and I think she got it from someone else, where you use different colors to highlight certain sections to help those sections stand out and the pages aren't as blah. So I wrote in here what I did. So the readings I did with this purple, the lessons I highlighted with green, and then what does this say? They are the sections, so sub numbers within the lessons. Let me show you an example. So here's the lesson in green, the sub lessons, the sections in orange. I have this blue color for all of the grammar, and I highlight the boxes and all of the grammar numbers. And I have this like yellowy orange for vocab. And I just went through all of the first, I think I did the first semester of this book. I do have some things written in here already from my Latin boot camp that I am doing with Jam with Latin. I highly recommend it. And if you guys are a part of Classical Conversations, there is a discount. So it is helpful. It's a director-student combo, so they also give you the student work, which is just really neat. So it goes on and on. Same thing. I just highlighted so like big sections here. It goes with the vocab, and I wrote under there note on next page and then highlighted that. So I feel really good about this. It's making me really excited, and it's bringing these pages to life, having them all highlighted and adding a little color. And I am not afraid to write in this book. I think it's going to be helpful for me to write notes right in here so that when I'm in class, I can just be right on the page and know what everything is. Okay, so I think this is gonna work really well for us. We have 3 Latin books in our house, and I'm going to do this for my son who's going into Challenge A. I think that it will be super, super helpful for him to be able to see all of the sections in color and have it tabbed. So I am going to do that for him as well. These are my personal books that I am working out of right now. Okay, so one last thing I want to say is I know that the theme of Challenge A is ownership, and we have this idea of, okay, it's a drop-off program. They are going to own their year and do everything that they're supposed to do, but they really do need us to sit with them, explain things, go over everything with them. So I am going to be watching. I did the director combo pack, so my son gets videos and lesson plans and all of that for Latin, and I'm going to watch those with him as well and sit with him and make sure he understands everything. It will help me in class to really refresh my memory for the coming week, but also it'll be beneficial to him because when they are struggling and they don't understand what's going on, they're not going to do the work, and that's going to be really frustrating. I learned that with my first son who went into Challenge A. I was kind of more of a hands-off approach, and he was struggling, and then for me to jump in mid-year, I was struggling. We ended up getting a tutor for Lost Tools of Writing because I wasn't keeping up and knowing what was going on. So if you are able to handhold for a little bit, I think that would be beneficial for your child. But you guys, if you have any questions at all or want to chat about Challenge A, just put any questions in the comments. You can go over to my Instagram, message me. I am available to you, but I hope that this answered some questions or showed you inside of books you wanted to see. So yeah, you guys, I am excited for the coming year, and we'll chat soon. Bye, you guys.